Before Dark Souls changed gaming forever, the PlayStation 1 already had games that carried the same brutal difficulty, dark fantasy themes, and cryptic storytelling. Here are 10 PS1 games that feel like Souls, long before the genre even existed.
Control.
From Software's King's Field, known as King's Field in the West, is the closest thing to Dark Souls on PS1. It features slow, deliberate first-person combat, minimal UI, and a bleak, atmospheric world. There are no tutorials or hand-holding, just a sword, a dungeon, and certain death. Players are dropped into a cryptic world full of undead, traps, and forgotten lore. The game rewards caution and exploration, punishing those who rush. Combat is stiff but strategic, and the eerie silence is unnerving. You learn by dying, just like in Souls. It's hard, it's haunting, and it's pure from software. The original King's Field was a Japan-only release and also from Software's first game. It laid the foundation for the entire Soulsborne franchise. You're alone in a dark, decaying kingdom, and everything from movement to combat is painfully slow. But that's the point. You feel every step. There's no map, no objective markers, and the story is told through cryptic item descriptions and vague dialogue. It's pure isolation. This is the core DNA of Dark Souls in its most raw form. It's rough by modern standards, but essential for understanding the evolution of the genre. Another forgotten gem by From Software, Shadow Tower takes everything from King's Field and dials it up. The darkness, the silence, and the danger. With no music, a fragile health system, and weapons that break constantly, this game is brutal. You explore a massive tower filled with grotesque monsters and cursed environments. There's no map, and healing items are rare. You must think carefully before engaging in battle. Shadow Tower is pure dread in game form. If you can handle the challenge, you'll see just how deep the Souls roots really go. Baroque is a surreal dungeon-crawling RPG that combines roguelike mechanics with psychological horror. It's set in a post-apocalyptic tower where death is constant and expected. Every time you die, the story changes slightly, revealing more of the disturbing world. Sound familiar? The game's cryptic narrative is told in fragments, through strange characters and haunting environments. You don't level up. Your power resets with each run, but you grow in knowledge. Baroque is about understanding suffering and sin, and like Dark Souls, it trusts the player to piece the story together on their own. Hell Knight is a first-person survival horror game with no combat, only escape. You're trapped in the Tokyo underground, being hunted by a shape-shifting mutant. There's no fighting back. Like a Souls game, it builds tension through atmosphere and unpredictability. You must navigate dark corridors, choose allies wisely, and run at the right moment. The fear doesn't come from cheap jump scares. It comes from the creeping realization that you're being stalked. The loneliness, the oppressive tone, and the constant threat of death all echo early Soulsborne horror areas like the Depths or Blighttown. Set in a cursed version of feudal Japan, Soul of the Samurai offers slow, sword-based combat, demonic enemies, and a story soaked in death and revenge. It's not flashy. Each strike matters, and mistiming a block can be fatal. The world is dark and grim, filled with undead and supernatural horrors. You choose between two characters, both facing personal tragedy. Exploration is key, and the game rewards patience. It's a spiritual ancestor to Sekiro, but it shares the core Souls elements of calculated combat, lore-driven world-building, and a deadly tone. Nightmare Creatures takes place in a cursed, plague-ridden version of 19th century London. You fight mutated beasts and demonic abominations using melee weapons and magic. Combat is stamina-based, and death comes quickly if you're careless. The streets are narrow, the fog is thick, and enemies appear from nowhere. The game forces you to fight methodically, managing your resources and learning enemy patterns. It's grim, gritty, and visually grotesque, much like Bloodborne. It might be rough around the edges, but its dark atmosphere and challenging fights are pure Soulsborne in spirit. Koudelka is a gothic horror RPG set in a haunted monastery. While the combat is turn-based, the atmosphere is undeniably Souls-like. The story revolves around death, the occult, and spiritual corruption. You explore cursed ruins, find cryptic notes, and witness disturbing visions. The pacing is slow and cinematic, with heavy themes and chilling music. The characters are flawed and mysterious, much like Souls NPCs. It's more narrative-driven, but it nails the oppressive tone and bleak beauty that Souls fans will appreciate deeply. Dragon Valor is an action RPG with branching story paths and a dark medieval setting. You play through multiple generations of cursed knights, each inheriting the burden of slaying dragons. Combat is heavy, with powerful weapons and brutal bosses. The world feels cursed, and choices affect future generations, giving it a tragic legacy vibe that mirrors Dark Souls' themes of cycles and fate. The art direction is bold, and the lore is layered beneath the surface. It's more action than survival, but its tone and weight make it a solid Souls-like experience. Darkstone is a dungeon-crawling action RPG set in a world plagued by corruption and darkness. You choose a class and explore deadly ruins filled with traps, undead, and bosses. Healing is limited, and dying means starting over. It has real-time combat that demands timing and awareness, and the environments are haunting and maze-like. There's little guidance, and enemies get tougher fast. While it leans into Diablo-style mechanics, the isolation, danger, and grim setting give it a Souls-like edge, especially in how it demands respect from the player. If you have come this far, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe so my channel can get some more views thanks to you. Echo Knight is a first-person ghost adventure focusing on exploration and storytelling rather than combat. Players navigate haunted mansions, interact with spirits, and unravel mysteries from the past. The game's minimal combat and emphasis on atmosphere create a slow-burning, chilling experience. Using light and objects to solve puzzles and communicate with ghosts, Echo Knight's unique mechanics encourage thoughtful play and careful investigation. Its eerie environments and tragic stories build a haunting mood that sticks with players long after finishing. Echo Knight's innovative approach to horror makes it a distinctive title in the PS1 library. These PS1 gems show that the spirit of Dark Souls existed long before 2009. If you crave challenge, mystery, and darkness, these forgotten classics are absolutely worth your time.
Control.